Okay. Okay, so what was the best part of NXT?
I'd probably have to say the Battle Royale.
That was your favorite part?
Yeah, I'd say so.
And I already know what your favorite spot was.
Yeah.
What do
you know?
What do you think about the ring name Liv Morgan? Because that particular talent was originally called Gianna Daddio, and I like that name a lot more.
Yeah, I think that name kind of fits her character a lot more.
Which diva in that match impressed you the most?
Well, and like, I'd say after that one match with Asuka, Emma's been impressing me more and more lately.
I agree. She's really owned that character.
Yeah, she has.
And Corey Graves touched on the fact that she and those two other ladies from Australia, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, they all came up through Australia and they're all on the same age. Mm-hmm. And of the three, Emma definitely seems the most polished, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Billie and Peyton are only now just starting to get into their characters. What do you think of Peyton Royce's Venus flytrap gimmick?
It's okay.
It needs a little more polish, is what I have to say.
Yeah.
It's not quite there.
No.
Peyton, you look great.
It's a work in progress.
And you're a good worker, but the Venus flytrap is just not quite there.
Yeah.
It's close.
Just tune up the gimmick a little.
Just tune a little bit more.
Yeah.
You're almost there. Aside from that, the one diva that impressed me the most, I guess, was probably Asuka.
Yeah, good call.
Of course she was strong, but I was really surprised that she was eliminated as quickly as she was, and opened the way for Carmella to end up winning that match.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we can agree that Carmella probably isn't going to defeat Bayley in her Divas title match. What do you think?
Or what if she does, and then maybe Bayley's coming up to the main roster?
That's an interesting idea. That's a really interesting idea. I hadn't thought of that. It could. I don't think it will, but
yeah, I don't think.
But it's possible.
Yeah. There's a slim chance.
A very slim chance, but a chance. Aside from that on the program, we saw once again the Lone Drifter, Elias Sampson, and his guitar in more or less a job match. I don't even remember. Oh yeah, he jobbed against a guy who I've never even seen before. It was like local talent. Local talent put him over.
Local talent.
Yeah, random local talent with his Daniel Bryan gimmick. Put him over really good. And the guitar, like you mentioned, Big E, was not smashed.
No. Maybe, once he gets some like main event spot or something, then he's gonna bring out the honky tonk man guitar spots.
The Jeff Jarrett, the Double J.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you that I actually watched Honky Tonk Man perform live?
No.
Yeah, it was back in 1999.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was kind of like the height of the Attitude Era, and it was a local show back in my hometown, and Honky was there, and of course he went over, and he did do the guitar spot.
Dude, that's sweet.
Absolutely. It was actually watching that show that I realized there's a local store called Liquidation World. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
They sell the cheapest guitars.
Oh.
And let's just say after the show, a few people did their own guitar spots. Shout outs to all the juggalos out there. A few of my associates back in the day, they liked backyard wrestling. But anyhow, but back to current events. We also saw on the program Sami Zayn, as we had expected, and he's going to be matching up against Samoa Joe and Baron Corbin, which was the build that was promoted in the beginning of the NXT episode. And they're going to be having their match as we film this program. It's Tuesday night. It's going to be tomorrow night on NXT. I'm really looking forward to that match. And who's going over?
Sami Zayn.
Yeah, I think that's a foregone conclusion. But whether he... Whether he wins the NXT Championship, wins his first match for it against Finn Balor coming up here, which is what we predict. I don't know if that's going to happen, but regardless, Sami is really over as we expected, and we expect a really fun match from him tomorrow night.
Definitely.
There was one other thing on the NXT program that we want to talk about, wasn't there?
Tommaso Ciampa.
Exactly, Tommy Ciampa. Exactly. Tommaso looking really strong. I'm really glad that Triple H decided to keep him around. He's a fine addition to NXT. He belongs. Like, you know, like when you see someone, you're like, dang, they belong in this particular thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Prince Puma at the top of Lucha Underground.
Oh yeah.
That guy is amazing. New season coming up just a couple of weeks. Can't wait.
Oh man.
Prince Puma against Rey Mysterio.
I gotta get caught up on that.
Well, El Rey, the network that makes Lucha Underground, they're doing a marathon coming up here.
Oh really?
Yeah, like right before the season starts in a couple of weeks they're actually playing all 36 episodes, I believe it is. Back to back to back to back. So that's gonna take 36 hours.
I was still so hyped to see the Lucha Underground sign when I went to California.
La Templo. You saw La Templo?
I did.
In Boyle Heights. So you went to Boyle Heights?
Well, we just drove past there on the highway.
So you drove past Boyle Heights?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. That's closer than I've been to Boyle Heights. That's really cool. Like you mentioned, that is really about it for NXT. Moving on to SmackDown. Of course, the main topic of discussion was the United States title match.
Yeah, there was. I mean, spoiler alert.
No, you can't spoil it. It's a week later. We've already had Raw. No spoiler alert. You just tell them. It's fine.
Kalisto dropped the belt on SmackDown, and it was pretty it was a little sad if you were rooting for Kalisto.
I was sad. Weren't you sad?
Yeah, I was heartbroken.
I was very heartbroken. Alberto's a good champion, but I was hoping Kalisto could have a run.
Yeah, I know, because he's been getting better and better every week, and not only that, but his promos have been improving.
They have, no doubt about it. But it's a learning experience. This was his first time getting I guess, he wasn't even truly in the main event, but getting like a top spot all of a sudden. And he's just kind of starting his career in WWE. Of the NXT call-ups, the only other NXT call-up, of recent memory to achieve title success was Kevin Owens. So Kalisto's going to get another chance. I'm sure he will.
Yeah, I'm sure he will as well. Well, he is going to at Royal Rumble.
That's right. This coming Sunday, he's going to be facing Alberto Del Rio. That's right. He's going to be getting his return match. It's just going to be a regular, ordinary match, right? No gimmicks?
Well, so far, no.
Okay.
But who knows what SmackDown and... Well, yeah, I guess what SmackDown can hold.
I'm sorry, Taz, I'm a little bit of a hack, but he predicted that it was going to be a ladder match. I think there's a lot of credence in that prediction. It makes sense, don't you think?
Yeah, it does. It makes a lot of sense. Oh my god, like an armbar or a cross-arm breaker on the ladder.
Wow. GG. Easy. Free.
We'll see another Salida del Sol off the top of the ladder.
Yeah, they're just gonna make him do it anytime there's a ladder match and he has to do it off the top of the ladder. But it's a really spectacular move, and he, surprisingly enough, as brutal as that finish of that move was when he breaks the ladder with his tailbone, if he didn't have the ladder, he would like spike his tailbone on the mat, and nobody can withstand that bump and not hurt their spine a lot. He probably already hurt his spine a lot, but I digress. The other main events on the program were, first of all, the Wyatt family doing business on the Dudleys. And the Wyatt families have been built to be stronger and stronger and stronger. And as we're going to get to a little bit later on in the program, they are just about the strongest booked faction, aside from New Day, in WWE right now. And I think it's deserved, don't you think, with Braun Strowman?
Yeah, I think it is deserved. Although on SmackDown, they did lose that one tables match, like, because the Dudleys caught Luke Harper off guard and put him through the table, but then they just totally destroyed the Dudleys after.
Well, hey, you remember the fact that Dudleys got destroyed.
Yeah.
So that right there is really good execution of the booking. It shows that the Wyatts can be, fooled, but even if they get fooled, they get theirs.
Oh yeah.
And
Believe that.
yes. Ooh ah.
Ooh ah.
The third and final element, surprisingly enough, Roman Reigns was not on SmackDown. The third and final match that was touted as a main event for SmackDown was Dean Ambrose facing off in a tag match alongside his partner Neville in a tag match against Sheamus and Kevin Owens.
That was a really, really spectacular match.
I agree. All four of these guys match up really well together in any combination because they're all great workers and they are four of WWE's best superstars. And it's just great to throw them in a match together. You better believe that, you know, if Seth was healthy, he would have probably been in that match.
Oh, hell yeah.
Anyway, yeah, one can only dream. Anyway, that more or less does it for SmackDown. Just a minor note, if we're not mistaken, Marks, go ahead and call us out, but I believe Becky Lynch went over Brie Bella in a brief but otherwise unremarkable match. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Becky went over against somebody.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Unless, I can't remember when it was that she, like, interrupted Charlotte's match.
That was Raw previous.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Okay.
Yeah, no worries. I don't even know if this match is legit. I'm just talking out my, you know what. Moving on to Raw, the program this week, it featured, off the top, Chris Jericho, surprisingly enough. And Jericho...
Looking very fashionable, wearing a jacket, nothing.
Let's talk about the fashion for a minute. Do you think it looked good?
I think it looked good on Chris Jericho, even though it was a little silly. But on anyone else, I would have been like, what?
I'm pretty much right there with you, to tell you the truth. Yeah, we're one mind on that. So Jericho booked a match because that's what he feels compelled to do. The future Hall of Famer decided to put Roman Reigns in a match against the Bulgarian brute Rusev. And it was really quite an entertaining match. Unlike Vince McMahon the week previous, Chris Jericho is a special guest referee. He actually refereed it the regular, normal way.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't cheat or do anything off limits at all. He just did it normally.
He didn't lie, cheat, or steal.
No. Rest in peace, Eddie. And aside from that, after the match, which was fun, Chris got, as usual, he got his nuts cut off by Stephanie McMahon. And that's a theme. Anytime anyone does anything out of line, Stephanie McMahon always cuts their nuts off. Just absolutely, totally cuts the yam bag. Shows to attach. Just cuts the yam bag right off of them.
I wonder how H's nut bags are.
Oh, his yam bag got sliced a while ago, I think. Yeah. He doesn't have a yam bag anymore. Well, he has it. It's at home. He doesn't carry it around with him.
You got a yam bag transplant.
Yeah. No disrespect to Triple H. In all seriousness, he probably is. Like if we're gonna be completely serious for a second, I'm sure Triple H and Stephanie actually probably have a pretty fair and equitable marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they seem like both intelligent, level-headed individuals, and in all seriousness, I doubt really one of them owns the other because they have so much responsibility. They don't have time for drama, so they're like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
They're yin and yang. It seems to me anyway. Like if they weren't, they would be just honestly. If they weren't, WWE would be in chaos, wouldn't they?
Pretty much.
Because they're the king and queen of WWE.
The king and king.
In the kingdom. No, but all seriousness, the king and queen, and we both know that Uncle Vince is the emperor.
Oh yeah.
He might as well just put the robes back on because it was me, Austin. It was me. It was him. Oh, sorry, it was him, Austin. It was him all along.
Son of a bitch.
I don't believe it. Vince McMahon is the master. Anyway, getting back to Raw, we're getting terribly sidetracked here.
It's all a part of the business.
Yeah, you're right. It's entertainment.
Sports entertainment.
Aside from that on Raw, we saw a tag team match to be the main event, which was Dean Ambrose. This time he was in a tag match with Kalisto, the now stripped of the United States title, Kalisto, and he was facing this tag match with Dean Ambrose against Alberto Del Rio and Sheamus. The Sheamus Dean Ambrose matchup is one that I don't mind. I actually like it more than the Sheamus Randy Orton matchup, surprisingly enough.
I like it too.
And the match they had on Raw wasn't as good as the one on SmackDown. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. It wasn't quite as good. It was still decent.
Yeah, it was. I really liked that Alberto Del Rio off the table Enziguri.
Yes,
that was spectacular.
That was so good.
Other matches on the evening, we didn't see Dolph first and foremost.
No.
Surprisingly enough, and we saw two Divas matches. One was Natalya going over Brie Bella, and the other.
And there was some total Divas drama. attached to that.
Watch the E Network tonight to find out what happens. Are Paige and Foxy over? It's Total Divas on E.
And Paige and Natalia are best friends again, even though Paige just brutally attacked her.
In all seriousness, you're exactly right that's what we saw. In all seriousness, I can't really comment on it because it all was kind of unclear to me.
Yeah.
They should have just had the match and just shown that in a commercial. They didn't have to have Paige come out. Yeah, they could have shown Paige in the back like eating nachos, watching the commercial and being like, yeah, I'm in the show. Munch. Drinking some soda. And then that would have been fine.
Or they could have had like a backstage confrontation. Like led to a feud.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah. Things happened.
That's right. Things happened. The other Divas match of the night was Becky Lynch going over Tamina. Tamina looking good. Putting Becky over strong, right?
Yeah, definitely. That was a great match.
Yeah, for sure. Tamina's a great worker, and recently, now that she's able to show off her bare arms, it seems like she can work a lot better. And that's really all to say about that match.
I'm just happy to see Team Bad, getting some of the spotlight now that Sasha is not around, because they were like just off the map without Sasha.
Totally off the map. But even when they come out, you'll notice in the graphics on the strip where the video plays for the entrance, it's all like Sasha Banks, Sasha Banks, Sasha Banks, Sasha Banks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all Sasha Banks. Like when they were coming out, just like the word Sasha Banks was all over the place in the background. It's pretty funny. Yeah, Becky goes over looking strong into the Rumble this weekend. We both, Biggie and I, have kind of flipped and flopped back and forth on how we think it's going to go down. At this point, I feel like Charlotte's going to retain her title. I think you think she's probably going to end up dropping her title, right?
I think it's all dependent on the Ric Flair factor.
You're right. Totally dependent on the Ric Flair factor. The scenery chewing.
Also, both of them have been playing, somewhat dirty, so...
A little bit.
Yeah, no, just a little bit.
With an edge.
Yeah.
Well, Charlotte with totally dirty.
So it should
Becky
be a
with
good
edge.
match. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Aside from that, any other matches that really... oh, yeah, of course, it's Martin Luther King night. So we saw the team of...
Mark Henry, Titus O'Neil,
R-Truth,
and Neville.
Teaming up against a bunch of...
it was Stardust, The Ascension, and Tyler Breeze.
Yeah, a bunch of guys who, as soon as we saw them, we knew that they were going to lose, unfortunately.
Tier 3 jobbers.
He said it, not me. I guess we're banned. We'll talk about a little bit more in the program. Yes, about the only thing that really warrants mentioning in this match was the fact that Tyler Breeze got dropped in his face, unfortunately, by Titus.
Oh, yeah.
But this shows how impressively strong Titus is, that he can just, like, toss Tyler that high in the air that Mark Henry couldn't even catch him.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that botch.
Titus just threw him so high that Mark...
It would have been so sick if it happened. I was like, I knew exactly what was going to happen, and then I was like, no, you failed.
But he failed in spectacular fashion. And I'm not mad at that.
Right. Speaking of jobbers.
Oh, yes. You're right. The Social Outcasts were basically in action, taking bumps against the Big Show. Big Show laid out all four of them, looking strong, going to the Rumble. I predict that Big Show is probably only going to last in the Rumble for maybe 5 minutes.
Right hand. The devastating right hands of the Big Show.
The Big Show is a force of nature.
Yeah.
Big Show too strong.
Unstoppable.
But he's probably only going to last 5 minutes in the Rumble and eliminate maybe two people. But he's a force of nature. Unbelievable.
Maybe somebody will get powerbombed out. Hopefully.
You know what? I wouldn't even doubt it at this point. Who would be the one person to take that bump? Who's the one person who would volunteer to get powerbombed on the concrete from the ring in the Royal Rumble? Fandango?
Oh my god. Man.
Damien Sandow, maybe?
Yeah, Damien Sandow for sure. If he's in the Rumble.
Oh yeah, they need to have 30 superstars in there. Everybody will be in there. Michael Cole will be in there just to fill it out.
Maybe it'll be Curtis Axel.
Who's gonna take the concrete bump?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Your feet didn't touch the floor, but now your back did.
That's such a good angle.
My feet never touched the floor.
He has to take a death-defying bump too in the process. I'd love that. Let's do it. Book it. Anything else that warrants mentioning on Raw last night? Honestly.
Just trying to think. What were the Wyatts up to?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they just destroyed the Dudleys.
Dudleys yet again. Yeah. Yeah. So in the Go Home segment, the end of the show, it was the highlight reel with Chris Jericho.
Oh yes. And they, oh my God.
Tell him.
So basically, it was Chris Jericho. Wait, it was Chris Jericho out there, right? Yeah, and then it was Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. And then Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar just started going at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the Wyatt family showed up and just laid out both the beast Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns.
I was screaming at my television. Absolutely screaming at my television. I couldn't.
He gave Brock Lesnar the smoochie.
He gave him a smoochie. I couldn't believe it. Brock? Getting a smoochie. Doesn't make any sense.